Well, greetings from Radio Wasteland Records, and welcome once again to our weekly check into the highlights of new releases, hopefully headed to an independent record store near you. This batch is due for release on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. Just a few new releases to speak of, but lots and lots of reissues, and we've got one big one on the horizon we'll tell you about. Starting things off, though, we've got something brand new from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. This is their new album called Omnium Gatherum. I know that sounds like a Harry Potter spell, but that's the name of it. We have got a couple of different versions of this, a black vinyl version listing for about $35, and an indie exclusive colored vinyl version also listing for around $35. Now, the colored vinyl version is being described as a lucky dip random vinyl, so I guess you don't know what color you're going to get. But our description says this is a double 180-gram LP pressing, and it's a sprawling 16 tracks of gonzoid prog jams, dizzying pop nuggets, rubber-legged hip-hop odysseys, and passages of pure thrash metal, as offered only by King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. So check that out. Brand new stuff from the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Omnium Gatherum. Also something new from a group called The Wonder Years, and this is a brand new album of theirs called The Hum Goes On Forever. Limited edition blue colored vinyl, and our description states that The Hum Goes On Forever both defines and understates the rock band that has released some of the most life-affirming cultural touchstones of the 2010s and 20s. On this, the band's fifth full-length studio album, The Wonder Years have created their most Wonder Years album of their career. So I guess we'll take that description for what it is. So The Wonder Years, The Hum Goes On Forever, a blue variant vinyl, lists for about $25. Not quite a reissue, but a reimagining. We've got something from Joan Jett. This is called Change Up. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' first acoustic album, Change Up, features chart toppers like Bad Reputation, Crimson and Clover, as well as some deeper cuts, stripped down and reimagined. Now again, this is this new trend that artists have of re-recording some of their tunes, some of their more famous tunes. And in this case, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts are doing this for Change Up. So Change Up is a double LP and will list for about $30. Really the same concept, but a reissue. Here is Rick Wakeman's Two Sides of Yes. Our description says this is a superb reissue of the double album collection from longtime Yes keyboard wizard Rick Wakeman, as he offers these unique interpretations of Yes classics and obscurities. This was originally released in the early 2000s, and Wakeman transforms these songs in bold new ways, including the Yes hits Roundabout, Long Distance Runaround, Starship Trooper, Heart of the Sunrise, and many, many more. This one is on silver vinyl, double LP, and Rick Wakeman's Two Sides of Yes, a reimagined album, will list for about $43. A huge collection of live music from Gentle Giant. This is called Front Row Center, U.S. tour dates 1976 through 1980. This is a limited edition 10 LP box set, and it includes a 60-page book. This set from the influential cult prog rock collective celebrates 4 classic years, 76 through 80, of touring throughout the United States. So this biggie here, Gentle Giant's Front Row and Center, the U.S. tour dates 76 through 80, 10 LP box set with a book, will list for around $400. Another live one from the Grateful Dead on tap for the 23rd as well. This is a triple LP pressing in a trifold jacket from Friday Music, and this is the Grateful Dead at the Fillmore East, recorded on February 11th of 1969. Our description says this album was from a 2015 restoration of the Vault tapes by David Glasser, so this wonderful album is sure to be a welcomed addition to any Deadheads collection. So the Grateful Dead's Fillmore East, 21169, will list for about $116. Speaking of remixes, here is one from Blur. This is called Bustin' plus Dronin', or Bustin' and Dronin', however you want to read this. It's a compilation that features remixes of tracks from their 1997 eponymously titled #1 album Bustin' and Dronin'. So this features remixes by William Orbit, Adrian Sherwood, Moby, Thurston Moore, and John McIntyre. So the Blur Bustin' and Dronin' remix album lists for about $32. Here's another big box set collection. This is Joni Mitchell's The Asylum albums, 1972 through 1975. This box set follows Mitchell's musical evolution over 4 albums as she embraced more jazz-inspired pieces and moved away from the folk and pop of her earlier years. The collection features newly remastered versions of For the Roses, Court and Spark, the double live album Miles of Isles, and The Hissing of Summer Lawns. So the Joni Mitchell Asylum albums box set, 1972 through 1975, will list for about $125. We have also got a couple of variations of an ABBA Greatest Hits on the way for the 23rd. This is Gold, ABBA's Greatest Hits, double 180-gram gold-colored vinyl. The set includes printed inner sleeves featuring band imagery and other facts. So the double LP gold vinyl version of ABBA's Greatest Hits lists for about $40. There is also a picture disc version of this coming out on the 23rd. That one will list for about $46. There's a whole lot to cover on the reissue front for the 23rd as well. Starting things off with one that a lot of folks have been requesting and waiting for. Here's a reissue of Allison Chain's Dirt. This is a double LP pressing and it has been digitally remastered. Allison Chain's Dirt on 150-gram vinyl, again double LP, will list for about $35. One great music on vinyl one to pass along for the week of the 23rd. This is Different Light by The Bangles. Again, it's a music on vinyl release on colored vinyl, pink and purple. Limited edition, as all music on vinyl stuff is. So The Bangles, Different Light, music on vinyl, limited edition 180-gram, pink and purple, will list for around $40. A couple of different combinations, if you will, of some Kinks reissues. First off, we have Muswell Hillbillies. This is a great repressing of the 1971 classic album, but we also have a reissue of Everybody's in Showbiz, originally released in 1972. Each of these available as a standalone reissue. Muswell Hillbillies for around $28, and the double LP Everybody's in Showbiz for about $35. But we also have a box set, a combo box set, if you will, of both of these put together, Muswell Hillbillies and Everybody's in Showbiz box set. It is a deluxe box set that features the newly remastered versions of both albums on vinyl and includes compact disc version, as well as 11 new remixes, courtesy of co-founder Ray Davies. This set also includes a Blu-ray disc with previously unseen, digitally restored 1971 home movies, and further bonus material includes a 52-page deluxe hardcover book, a Kinks metal badge, glossy photo prints of the band, and a London roots map highlighting historical Kinks-related locations. So the combo box set of Muswell Hillbillies and Everybody's in Showbiz with all of the extras will list for around $200. Some hard rock and heavy metal stuff also on the way for the 23rd. This is the 30th anniversary of Lean Into It by Mr. Big, originally released in 1991. That one will list for about $36. Here's a reissue of Halloween's Metal Jukebox, just in time for Halloween, hopefully, on orange and red vinyl. This was originally released in 1999 by the German power metal band Halloween, and the limited edition reissue will list for about $32. We also have something coming from Bruce Dickinson. This is called Accident of Birth. It's the 4th studio album by Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson, originally released in 1997. This one coming in a little thick, double LP, black vinyl, will list for about $45. We also have an anniversary edition from Motorheads' Iron Fist. The first variation of this is a colored vinyl, black and blue. This double LP from Sanctuary Records will list for about $34. There's also a larger anniversary edition of Iron Fist. This is the 40th anniversary edition. This is pressed on triple LP black vinyl and includes a 20-page book. And actually, some of that vinyl has a full live show from Glasgow Apollo, released for the first time on vinyl, plus includes some previously unreleased demos. So the triple LP with a book edition of Motorhead's Iron Fist will list for around $75. There is some Dio stuff on the way. I know we're missing the Dio picture disc in the RSD Black Friday drop, so we'll get our fill here. First up is Killing the Dragon on limited edition red and orange vinyl. This is an anniversary edition as well. Dio's Killing the Dragon was the 9th studio album by the heavy metal band, originally released in May of 2002. So this colored vinyl reissue of Dio's Killing the Dragon will list for about $30. There's also some live stuff due from Dio. First up is Dio at Donington in 1983. 2 versions of that. The lenticular cover version, double LP, lists for about $45. That is on black vinyl. And there is a black vinyl standard edition that lists for about $35 as well. And although not pictured along with this, we do have another Dio album. This is live at Donington in '87. Same thing, there is a lenticular cover available as well as a standard black vinyl with matching prices. Always a popular one and really sought after on the vintage side, we now have a new 180-gram reissue of Queen's A Night at the Opera. This is a limited edition gatefold 180-gram vinyl reissue. This new reissue, as mentioned, will be on 180-gram black vinyl. It's an import from the UK, by the way. Has an embossed gatefold jacket, and the audio is half-speed mastered, so that should sound absolutely fantastic. So Queen's reissue of A Night at the Opera will list for around $30. Some blues on the reissue front as well. This is Lightnin' in New York by Lightnin' Hopkins. 180-gram black vinyl with a tip-on jacket, remastered by Bernie Grundman. This album was originally recorded in 1960 and features Lightnin' doing his best stuff in New York. So Lightnin' in New York, the remastered 180-gram version, will list for about $27. A couple of jazz ones to wrap things up this week. Chick Corea, The Montreux Years. This is a showcase of some of the legendary pianists' remarkable Montreux Jazz Festival live performances. The set includes brand new liner notes, as well as rare photos from those shows. Chick Corea's The Montreux Years will list for about $37. And one that is truly a must-have for any jazz collection. Here is a reissue of Dave Brubeck's Timeout. What makes this cool, though, it's a double LP that includes both the stereo and the mono versions of the groundbreaking Timeout. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this album, you really should be, but this is one of the most rhythmically innovative albums in jazz history, and the first to consciously explore time signatures outside of the standard 4/4 beat or 3/4 waltz time. And our description, I agree with this completely, says, this album belongs in even the most rudimentary of jazz collections. Originally released in 1958, lots of other reissues out there, but this packaging, again, is a double LP, so Timeout, both the stereo and mono versions of the album from Dave Brubeck, will list for about $33. And finally today, we've got a big one on the horizon. This is the brand new one just announced by Taylor Swift. It's called Midnights, and there's going to be a couple of CD versions of this, both with an explicit and a clean version, but only one vinyl version that we're seeing so far. Again, I say so far. We have got what's being called a Moonstone Blue edition. Our description says that it is a concept album by Taylor Swift, conceived from her thoughts during sleepless nights. Midnights has been described by Swift as a journey through terrors and sweet dreams. Now, we're still waiting on some of the final information on this, but it looks like there may be some different covers available for this, so we'll give you some more information as this gets a little closer. But again, looking ahead, Midnights by Taylor Swift, due for release on October 21st, and it looks for now like the blue vinyl version will list for about $30. So that is a quick look at some of the highlights of the new releases headed our way for Friday, September 23rd. As always, if you see something you'd like us to try to get a hold of, contact us here at Radio Wasteland and we will put in a pre-order for you. Now, again, we need to stress that sometimes things happen, whether they be production delays or pressing delays. So hopefully they're going to be hold true with the release dates as promised. But otherwise, we'll do what we can to get the stuff for you. Until next week, thanks for watching. Have a great one from Radio Wasteland.